is NBC4 News at 11.
And now at 11, tragedy outside school just minutes after the school day ended. A 15-year-old student hit and killed in the parking lot. NBC4's Macy Jenkins is live in Studio City for us just outside Campbell Hall. Macy.
Hi, Carolyn. Well, investigators say the teen was suddenly pinned between two vehicles after school just before he was rushed to the hospital. All of this happening at a very busy time of day when several students are typically on their way home. A 15-year-old Campbell Hall student struck by a car in the school pickup zone Wednesday afternoon. He was transported to Children's Hospital just minutes later, where he was pronounced dead. LAPD Lieutenant Matthew Bielski says it happened just after 3 p.m. Several cars were stopped in the secondary school waiting zone when the 15-year-old teenage boy walked between two vehicles.
And unfortunately, the vehicle that the student walked in between moved forward. We haven't determined why at this moment.
That's when the dark-colored Rivian SUV, captured here by News Chopper 4, pinned the boy up against the white SUV in front. The school says members of its health center responded immediately to provide care before the boy was rushed to the hospital.
The driver was not of the school. They were actually picking another student up, but they did not attend the school.
LA Fire Department says 5 others, 3 adults and 2 minors, were affected by the crash, all of them emotional in the aftermath, but able to physically walk away from the incident unharmed.
This is a very tragic situation. This is hard on all the witnesses who witnessed this. There's a lot of kids are getting out of school, getting ready for summer, who witnessed this. So. Also, this is hard on our firefighters when you have a teenager, adolescent who's transported in grave condition.
The mayor's crisis response team responded to both the school and the hospital to offer emotional support and recovery assistance to those involved. Investigators calling the tragedy an accident.
At this time, since it was determined to be an accident, there won't be any citations given. As you can understand, it's an unfortunate incident for both families.
Now, final exams are scheduled for both middle and high school students through the end of this week. We reached out to the school to see if they had any plans to alter that schedule in light of today's events, but we have not heard back. Graduation is scheduled for next Wednesday. Reporting live in Studio City, Macy Jenkins, NBC4 News.
Macy, thank you. And just in, we're learning one person is dead after an apparent overdose at the Hotel Angelino in Brentwood. That's the cylindrical building just off the 405 as you go through the Sepulveda Pass. Firefighters say one person was found dead in the parking lot. 2 others were taken to the hospital in critical condition. A major update now in the bombing of that Palm Springs fertility clinic. A man from Washington State is now under arrest, accused of helping plan the attack and supply the explosive materials used in the bombing. 32-year-old Daniel Park was taken into custody in New York. He left for Europe after the explosion and was deported from Poland at the request of U.S. officials. Investigators say he shipped almost 200 pounds of explosive materials to the bomber, Guy Bartkus. They say both men shared antinatalist views. That's an ideology that more children should not be born. Park is expected to appear in a federal courtroom in Southern California to answer the charges in the coming weeks. You can read more about today's arrest and the bombing on our website, NBCLA.com. You'll find a timeline and details of the investigation there on our homepage. One of the most controversial policies of President Trump's first term is back. Tonight, there is a new travel ban preventing people from a dozen countries from entering the United States. NBC's Robert Kovacic is following this developing story. He's here now to walk us through the changes. Robert.
Carolyn, President Trump says it is a necessary move to fortify national security and combat terrorism. The executive order signed, and then the president took to social media to explain. So tonight we are following his remarks, the ramifications, and the reaction.
We will not allow people to enter our country who wish to do us harm, and nothing will stop us from keeping America safe.
Starting Monday, when it's set to go into effect, these are the countries banned